So here we are at the COVID regulation Bristol protest, otherwise organised by Stand Up X or conglomerate of other organisations perhaps. As you can see, it's a relatively peaceful protest so far. At least there's only been one incident that I witnessed, but I didn't see quite the whole of it. Somebody was bundled into a van or taken away. We're not quite sure what happened. Other than that, it has been mostly peaceful as a protest so far. And it's all people gather really have concerns for the COVID-19 regulations. And so far it's been relatively okay policed, apart from that minor incident I'm not sure about. I guess people are concerned obviously about the effect of the regulations on people, especially all the isolation that's caused for at-risk groups, those with long-term physical and or mental health concerns that may be lacking access to support networks. And so there's a lot of people with this concern. It's obviously widespread. But I wanted to film today to show that it's been relatively peaceful so far. We're only a few hours into it. It's been quite a heavy downpour, but it hasn't put people off so far. And it's been lots of people shouting and chanting. I wanted to make a record just to show that it has been peaceful, but let's hope it remains that way. We've just been sort of doing a circular walk around the main streets, and I know that there have been lots of protests going on all over the country, in Manchester, up north, and especially the large Stand Up X ones at Trafalgar Square in London. But internationally also, we've seen widespread protests in all different regions of the world because of the widespread nature of the COVID-19 regulations and the impact that it's had so far reaching on so many different communities, the isolationing of especially those in at-risk vulnerable groups, and the effect of the masking too. And now with the mandatory vaccines also looming over us like a dark cloud on the horizon, all those concerns combined have brought together lots of people, and it's only likely to continue. People will have a whole variety of different concerns, not just about the vaccines and the mandatory proposed nature of them, but also as well about social distancing, people lacking access to support networks, like I said, especially those with physical health conditions, but also children. Think about those care home residents, where reported deaths have doubled. And is that down to a rise in infections, or is that about people being isolated who are actually very vulnerable and were actually quite dependent on those visits for a good quality of life? If you depreciate someone's quality of life to such an extent, is there any point of carrying on with it all? And especially if you are really ill, you look forward to that one visit with a family member. And to deprive someone of something like that, there are people that have died without being able to see their relatives for the last few weeks or months of their lives. That is a damn disgrace. And especially when someone's on their deathbed with a real illness, that is exactly when you do need the support, when you want to be there with a loved one. And I tell you what, I would break COVID rules to go and see a parent that was dying, because I tell you what, honouring your parent and trying to care for someone that's been there and supported you for decades, given birth to you, carried you, breastfed you, changed your nappy, done all the things to keep you going, to abandon a parent at their time in need when they're critically ill, that is not something I would support in any law whatsoever, and I would break any law that said I should abandon a vulnerable people that desperately need the support.